It is, of course, a big summer for Jose Mourinho at Manchester United. His second season in charge, and now a chance to get to grips with this squad as he builds and adds to it. Stuart Robson, we're talking about formations here in Manchester United, how they might line up. He doesn't prefer three at the back, but something tells me he might well want to use it this season.
Well, most of the training has been used in this formation. In the first couple of games, he's looked at this formation as well. And when you look at the players he's got available, this is the sort of lineup I expect him to play. The one thing, Smalling, I'm not sure he'd want to play on the left-hand side of a back three, but they've got Bailly and Lindelof, I'm sure they will be starting. Then you've got Herrera, who could just drop into that holding midfield role. Pogba and Mkhitaryan playing further forward. Valencia is a natural right wing-back. Blind is probably the best of the left-backs who could play in that left wing-back position. And it, of course, allows you to play with two up front. If you play with a back three and you've got three central midfield players, you can then play with a front two and not be outnumbered in that central area. And that would suit Rashford more than it probably would Lukaku.
A couple of players who've been strongly linked with them may well slot into this formation as well, with Nemanja Matic from his old team Chelsea, and on the right-hand side perhaps with Perisic. You think that he can do the job defensively if they play like
that? Well, I think Perisic, if he was coming into the side, would probably take the place of Mkhitaryan more than anybody else. And down as the holding midfield player, Matic would probably come into that sort of area, and again Mkhitaryan would be the player that would struggle. Matic would play alongside Herrera, and Pogba would play that little bit further forward. But it's the wing backs that I think would certainly, they might look at another left back. Valencia's done a great job down on that right hand side. OK,
so let's take a look at his preferred or his traditional 4-3-3 and how the players he has at his disposal now work in that.
And I don't think it looks as strong. From when I look at the players and I was looking at the squad, Blind has struggled defensively, when he's playing as a normal left back. Bailly and Lindelof, we don't know about Lindelof yet, whether he'll cope with the Premier League. Valencia is a much better attacking player than he is defender. Then it also means you've got to play with a midfield three, and Fellaini looked like the player that would come into that role because he's done it at the end of last season, did it quite well. Herrera's the holding midfield player, Pogba doing that. And of course then it means that Rashford has to go out wide. Lukaku, who would probably prefer to play as a lone striker, that suits him. And Mkhitaryan, again, goes into a wide area. So I don't think that looks as good when you look at it on paper as the 3-5-2 that we talked about beforehand. OK, no easy solutions as ever, even if you do improve the squad, which Jose Mourinho, of course, is trying to do at Old Trafford. Massive games coming up against Manchester City, Real Madrid and Barcelona this summer. Of course, all of them you can see here at ESPN. And keep it here at ESPN FC for much more on United.